Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Comedy Castle podcast. I'm your host, Joel Fragomeni. I'm going to tell you what's going on this week at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. And we'll let you listen to a great interview with Craig Shoemaker. He's one of my favorite guys to come on, Shoemaker. He's going to tell us all kind of cool stories. Super funny. Always a big week when Craig's at the club. But let's tell you everything that's going on. It's going to take a minute. You may want to advance to the Craig Shoemaker interview. But here's what we're going to do here. I got a bunch of shows starting on Tuesday. That might be the day that you're hearing this. It's probably the day that it's going up on the old internet there. That is July 8th, the Detroit to L.A. Comedy Challenge at 7:30 p.m. And I'm just going to, we got 2 nights of Detroit to L.A. Wednesday the 9th, another Detroit to L.A. show. Different lineups, of course, on both of these. 7:30 p.m. for both shows. Detroit to L.A. You can see a bunch of great comedians. It's $10 online, $15 at the door. Come out, see a bunch of great comics. You get to vote for your favorite and send them off to L.A. potentially. It's the opening round. That's what we do in the summer during the week. We do Detroit to L.A. It's a lot of fun. And then we got the great Love Master Craig Shoemaker coming in, 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 10th of July. Friday the 11th, 7:15 and 9:45 are 2 different shows there for you. And another 2 shows on Saturday the 12th at 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. As usual, those early show Saturday tickets go quickly. So you want to get those if you're planning on coming on Saturday night. And the other shows, the late show Saturday, Friday and Thursday, lots of tickets available. So go to one of those if you don't like crowds. Go on Thursday night. It's a lot of fun. I love our Thursday crowds at the club. And we got 2 shows for you on Sunday. That's right. 2 shows on Sunday. 2 different acts, too. Maurice Bernard, Sonny Corinthos from General Hospital is going to be with us at 1:30 p.m. He does, he talks to you. He tells you about General Hospital. He'll answer any of your questions. And he tells us about his struggles with depression. And he's talked a lot about that in a very positive way. He's suffered with depression himself, and he'll tell you about that. He'll tell you some funny stories. I think the last time Maurice was with us, his son came out, and they sang a few songs together. That was really cool. So all the soap opera ladies come out for Maurice Bernard. It's always a big draw. 1:30 on Sunday the 13th for that one. So a little afternoon show for you. Get you out of there. You're home in time for dinner if you come to Maurice Bernard on Sunday. And then Sunday evening, Steve Hofstetter joins us at 7 p.m. Steve, you know Steve from his Heckler Shutdown videos. He's very famous for them. You hear about comedian destroying Heckler online? Steve was the first guy doing that, as far as I can tell, and he did a great job. I've got an interview with Steve on this very website at comedycastlepodcast.com from his appearance, from his last appearance at the club. Steve was on with us, and Steve created the TV show Laughs for Fox, which a lot of local comics got to be on. So it's Steve Hofstetter, 7 p.m. on Sunday. So all those shows are at comedycastle.com. A whole bunch, all right? You got to find out about those. We'll also plug this weekend. The advanced comedy class starts up on July 12th. Still room in there. If you want to be part of the advanced comedy class, call the club at 248-542-9900. This is for people who have done the beginner class at the club. This is for people who have done comedy for a little bit and have an act and can get on stage and want to get better, want to learn what it's like to be a pro. We'll teach you that in the advanced comedy class. It runs for 6 weeks. We do a showcase at the end of it. I'll be your instructor for all of those weeks. We'll go out, do some open mics together as well, perform in front of an audience. It's always a great time. My advanced comedy class has just turned out dozens and dozens of some of the best comedians working in the Michigan comedy scene right now. And I'm so proud of it. The next one starts this Saturday, the 12th. The class is at 12:30 weekly, and showcase at the end of that. So I want you guys to sign up for the advanced comedy class. It's my favorite thing I do all week is the advanced comedy class. It's the best. So sign up for that. We'll do another one in the fall, but if you want to get in on this one, July the 12th, that's the date for that. Let's recap a little bit of what happened this weekend. We had we interviewed Wes Ward, couple weeks ago. He made his headlining debut on Thursday night, July 3rd, and he did a great job. So shout out to Wes. Did a nice job, great turnout. His buddy heckled him, which wasn't great. I don't think it ruined the show, but, Wes, whenever you're taping anything, as Wes was, he was very nervous. But I think it's going to turn out great because Wes did such a nice job. And, of course, we had the 2 comedy rumbles on Saturday night that Brett Hayden put together and had a great turnout. We had over 400 people between those 2 shows and, 60 comics. Just a super turnout on a holiday weekend. It was really nice. Great job, Brett. Great job, everyone. I know my student, Jacob Russell, won the Late Show of the Comedy Rumble, and my former student, Ella Horwadell, was a co-winner of the early Comedy Rumble, along with a guy named Simon Carlson, who I believe is from Grand Rapids. So a lot of funny people on those. I don't know how you judge. And the judges that do it, Carl Johnson, Wes Ward was a judge. That's a tough gig, man. I don't know. I judge Detroit to LA, and I struggle too. When it's 90 seconds, I think it's even harder, and there's 30 people to choose from. So, good luck to judging that one. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into Craig Shoemaker. That's our act this week. Oh, also, just one note on. I've got another little story about something that happened at the Comedy Rumble. We're going to update you after I talked to Craig Shoemaker on that. But anyway, here's Craig talking old show business impressions, which always crack me up. Some of these you may not get, but they're always funny. You're going to talk some Philadelphia Eagles football, why Craig was really rooting for the Lions. He's got some great stories about Patrick Stewart, Picard from Star Trek. You'll hear that. He ran into Mark Ridley recently. He'll tell you that story. Have a little conversation about Mark Ridley and how Craig ended up playing the Comedy Castle for the first time. We'll talk about the old days of being a pothead. What was that like? My memories, his memories. And here's some, we're also going to give you, and this is something that I'm very proud of on this show, the Comedy Castle podcast, that we can give you David Boreanaz trivia. The actor from Bones and Angel and all these shows, hunky actor David Boreanaz, has a connection to Craig Shoemaker. You'll hear that on the show, too. Is that enough of a build-up? I don't know. But Craig is a great guy, hilarious comic. If you've never seen him, you should come out this weekend. He's a bundle of energy, very relatable. Bring your mom, bring your grandma for Craig Shoemaker. They'll all have a great time. Let's play you that right now, all right? Enough talking. Here's Craig Shoemaker. We'll join you after, all right?
I just saw Mark actually, and
by
the way, are we recording now?
We can be. Should we be recording? Let's start recording. I was going to go over some things we could talk about, not talk about.
No,
but you're so easy that way.
Yes, exactly.
So you saw Mark Ridley. Tell us about that. Where'd you run into Mark?
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're good. This is a show.
Oh, all right, here we go. Mm-hmm. All right, ready? Go.
Go.
And 3, 2, 1.
Craig, tell us, you ran into Mark Ridley recently.
I ran into Mark. He came to my show, which shocked me that he's seen 9,000 comedians, probably more.
Yeah.
And that he, on his day off in Palm Springs, he was at my show at Marvin's Magic Theater. And it's a small theater that I performed there and pack it out too. Well, Palm Springs has more closer to my age people.
Yeah.
So, it's funny because my references, it's so old there. I was actually pulling out Lawrence Welk bits. I get to bring back all my old impressions. There was Jimmy Stewart announcing a horse race. I pulled all my stuff back from the old days of comedy, but it was fun, and he was there for it.
Yeah. Well, I think here's the thing about Mark that you probably know this, but I think he misses not being at the club because of all the club owners that I ever worked for in my career, he was the guy that would actually watch the show pretty much every night.
Yeah, that's true. He Well, he's such a student of it, and he actually does it himself as well. The comedy. I know he stepped aside pretty much and doesn't really get on stage. I don't know if he gets on stage at all. The only stage he has now is golf, and that certainly there's a lot of comedy there. I played with him. So, I hope he's listening. Yeah, I played in these celebrity golf tournaments with him. I suck too. I got a trophy for closest to the car. One time I hit one so bad I hit a wedding. I don't know why. By the way, I never realized how sexual golf is until you play with a hot woman. I played with a playmate named Lisa Durban, right? It was me, her, and Ray Romano in a celebrity thing. It's a threesome, I guess you could say, but not the type I would want with Ray Romano in there.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be a threesome, a throuple, a golf throuple. So it's such a sexual game. I didn't realize, like, every comment, Ray and I would look at each other. Like, she goes, I think I went in the water. Ray's like, I don't think you're wet. I mean, the ball that went in the water. And, but we did not score well with her as a partner.
No.
We didn't score.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about you, just what you're saying right now, these kind of stories, is that because I meet all the headliners that come through, I interview them, I hang out with them, whatever. You're Hollywood. You got that Hollywood pedigree, and I like that. I like, because that's going away. Let's be honest, right? That's going away. All these guys are from New York, and they're playing in little dumps, and then they all, I made a YouTube thing, and I went, but you're Hollywood, television, movies, that whole thing. That's what I like about you.
Well, yes, but I'm always going to be Philly, though. That's the thing.
That's true.
I'm a Philly guy, and I've got the whole California thing. I've been there for years, but I have such Philly in me. I'm stuck between Namaste and Kiss My Ass. That's where I live, in that zone.
Well, I was going to bring that up because I wrote down congratulations to the Eagles and everyone from Philly. I think the nation rallied behind the Eagles this year just so the Chiefs would lose. That's what we were really rooting for.
That is true. And I must tell you that I was rooting for the Lions if it wasn't the Eagles.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone says that to us, yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. They go, well, the Lions, if my team was out.
You even come in second in what people root for. I got my prime team, but you're my secondary team.
Yeah, we're the feel-good story. But here's what I hated about the NFL playoffs. All right, the Lions lose to Washington, and it's like this buzz, this buzzsaw of a young quarterback makes the Lions look bad. That Washington played the Eagles and just laid the fuck down and did nothing.
Wow, I couldn't believe it.
It was horrible because we're like, come on, you got to beat the Eagles now. Because, God, it's like we got beat by these guys. It was horrible.
Exactly. It always is that way. When somebody beats you, go, okay, I hope they win the championship.
Yeah.
It'll show that we're at least second best. But the Lions were fourth best, according to that math. I took my son back there for a father-son bonding trip, right?
Yeah.
From California. He's a California kid, but I raised them all to be Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, Phillies fans. Took him to a Phillies game. And actually a World Series, and they get chants going on from my 10-year-old. 200 people surround this New York fan around us. They go, you suck cock. Everybody, you suck cock. And my son's sitting there going, what are they saying, Dad? I'm going, I'm not sure. My son goes, I think they're saying you smoke pot. That's exactly what they're saying. Those New Yorkers are stoners. They're known for it, just like your great-grandmother. That's a true story. My grandmother was a stoner.
Oh, really?
She used to smoke and grow pot in the backyard.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, did she grow it? Because that was how the old stoners
grow it. I said, you're going to get arrested. She goes,
fuck them. I tell them I got glaucoma. It's medicinal, Craig.
So, she used to try to have me, she'd give me a shotgun. Remember the shotguns? You put a lit joint in your mouth backwards and you blow the smoke directly into the lungs, so it helps the oregano turn into something that makes you high.
Oh, wow. I don't think I ever did that one, but I wasn't much of a stoner. But
oh, well, I tried. Well, I wasn't. Made me into an idiot. My friends would go, "Oh my God, that was so funny. You should write that down and become a comedian."
Oh,
Right. Write down the bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious the night before, and I read the note the next day. I go, "Hamster nipples. What the hell does this mean?" "Oh, it's funny the night before. Don't say it again. I can't breathe. Hamster nipples. No, stop saying it. You're gonna kill me."
Yeah.
That's how it got started.
I wasn't much for a pothead, but I could make the 2-liter pop bottle into a bong. That was sort of my skill.
Oh, well, okay.
I could do that.
You had to have smoked enough pot if you're all of a sudden, if you're in denial here, if you're MacGyver coming up with ways to make bong.
I was better at making the bong than smoking the pot. That's what I was better at. I don't think I could handle it, but I could build those things. The can, you dent the can, you can make a can, you can make a 2-liter, whatever you got.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Well, we had that as well. And I know you're old enough to remember you clean the pot on either. Well, first it was an album cover, Cheech and Chong preferably, and then it was a CD case.
Frisbee works too.
Oh yeah, the
Frisbee is good for rolling. I think the Frisbee.
Oh, good for rolling, and then you go play Frisbee because that's what stoners do.
It's got that lip, so if it misses the paper, it rolls into that lip, and you can. Doesn't roll onto the floor.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe I'll smoke pot again just to do the Frisbee.
We'll go play Frisbee this weekend.
My first comedy act was Celebrity Smoking Pot in Mayberry.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's hear a little of that.
That was my first. I would do, all the characters, and it would end with Floyd going, "Ooh, ooh, 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 I'm high as a kite. Ooh, 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 good reefer." My first bit ever.
Okay, let's talk about your early days in comedy. You started in Philly, I take it, right?
Yes, in high school.
Who were
high school, junior year of high school?
Wow.
My first gig, I was paid on. They passed around a hat in Ava Tamini's backyard,
and
they paid me like I don't know, probably made like $7. So there was change in there and everything else. But I did my Celebrity Smoking Pot, and I threw in some locals like Hank, Flower Town Hank. Hey, you think my face is any thinner since the last time I saw you? Do you think I'm more mature? That was Hank. Everybody used to say, "Oh, if Hank was famous, you'd be famous, Craig, because of your Hank impression."
And then, who were the comics that were around? Who were the big Philly comics at the time you were starting out?
My debut was with I don't know if you know any of these guys. Rich Hall.
Oh yeah, sure. I remember Rich Hall. Not necessarily the news. Sniglets.
That's exactly right.
That's the guy. Yeah.
And so he did pretty well. Joe Bolster. He was really good. Carl Waxman. He ended up on cruise ships. Trying to think of all the. And there was a whole bunch of local Philly guys. Wayne Cotter.
Okay, I know who Wayne is.
Yeah. So a lot of local, the legendary Wid. He was crazy. He had all these props. This was before Carrot Top. I mean, he made Carrot Top look like a monologist. This guy had props everywhere. And one time I was bartending at Rick's Cabaret, and I would jump up from the bar and MC the show. And he was cleaning up afterwards, and he just passed out and vomited. So I had to put all his props in a car, and he had a bit about, he would talk about, vomiting, and he would take like a mop, and just go, like acting like the mop was the vomit. Well, I had to use that mop to clean up his real vomit. So, but,
practical effect there. Practical.
Yes. Effect. And then we have Ben Curlin, who's at beautiful Society Hill in Philadelphia, across the street in Camden. It looks like Cambodia. I used to do a Ben Curlin impression too. These are very good impressions if you know who they are.
Well, hopefully someone does in the audience.
No.
And how much of the act this weekend is going to be these impressions?
None of the act will be this whatsoever. This gives me a chance to bring all the retro stuff out.
Yeah. Well, I love hearing all that because everyone's got that scene. You've got the comedy scene of the people who, were like big deals in your town, but maybe they didn't make it. Everyone thought they were going to be something, but it just never happened for them, or they got ran off the road by a moose and died, or somewhere in the UP of Michigan.
It's funny. I I see them now and then. Like the guy that beat me for the funniest comedian in Philadelphia, I just saw him. He's like almost homeless now. So those judges had it all wrong. That's my raison d'etre. I'm going to show those judges wrong at the Shanty Shack, wherever that comedy contest was. They'd always have comedy contests, and I did win Best Impressionist in Philadelphia Magazine. It was one of my big starts. Cool. And then the guy who discovered me had me on AM Philadelphia. It's not a mini. That's not a mini mark, by the way. It's an actual talk show. That guy's son became famous. So I've known him since he was like 7 years old. His son, David Boreanaz, who ended up on.
Yeah, he's an actor from, I'm trying to remember.
Angel. And then Bones, and then SEAL Team.
Oh, okay.
He works all the time.
Yeah,
I know him since his dad was our local weatherman in Philly and also the talk show host that discovered me doing impressions. I did Celebrities Being Born. I wore a hood and I would come out of the womb as different celebrities. Like back then, Andy Rooney. Do you ever wonder what it's inside of a uterus? Looking for a womb with a view, aren't we? Something like that.
But everybody,
I get all my retro stuff today. This is awesome.
Well, and I appreciate it because I'm in my 50s. I know who these people are. But back in sort of. So, what year did you actually start? What year was like first time on stage?
Oh, geez. 81.
Oh, okay. So
79.
Oh, so that's the heyday. Comedy Castle opened in 79.
No way.
Yeah,
really?
79 is 19. It says right on the wall.
He used to not hire me. I used to play in Frasier at a bowling alley.
Oh, yeah. The legendary Chaplains. I played there a million times.
Chaplains, and then they had another one on like 9 Mile or 8 Mile or whatever. They opened up another one there.
Chaplains West.
Yes, exactly.
Chaplains
so that's
West.
where I worked for a while until Ridley finally booked me. I've been working at Ridley since 91.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah, 91. Yes. And as a matter of fact, something happened there that was really cool that happened a few times afterwards, but that was the first. These people come up to me after the show and they said, "We want to thank you." And I said, "Oh, you're welcome." No. They said, "No, really, we want to really thank you. We were told we couldn't have a child. And we saw your show, and my husband goes home and he imitates the Love Master and made me laugh." That's what every guy does. They all do the Love Master. It always sounds like Kermit the Frog. I'm the Love Master. Hey. So check out this big greenie. So, and then they had a baby girl because things were loosened up. And they apparently were trying too hard. You try too hard to do some things, loosened up. And they have a baby girl, not named Craigolina, but and then it happened again and again. My friends Brett and Mindy, I said, come to a show because they couldn't conceive, and they conceived Cooper. And Cooper actually was born 1 week different than my adopted son. So we used the milk from Mindy, the breast milk. We would go score it like drugs. For our baby Jared, we used Cooper's breast milk because Cooper was conceived in comedy and laughter.
Nice.
So, and then top it all off, we're about to watch the Lions against the Eagles in 1997. We're about to watch the playoff game, right?
Right.
Incidentally, I don't want to rub it in. We absolutely destroyed you. You.
I'm sure you did.
No, it was a destruction. Matter of fact, I'm friends with Rodney Peete, who was your quarterback.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're filming the movie The Love Master, and Michael Goldberg, the director, he wrote Cool Runnings, Little Giants. His wife is ovulating. We're in a condo about to watch the game. He's a Philly guy too. And I said, do the Love Master, and I went and got sandwiches. I came back. Apparently he did the Love Master, and we watched the game. It was a destruction. We loved it. And then baby Kayla was born 9 months later.
Nice.
So yes, I'm a fertility clinic. So anybody listening, if you're thinking about having a baby, come to my show. I'm a fertility clinic. If you're thinking about bringing a date and you don't want to have kids, make sure you bring protection, okay? Because just a little warning here that the Love Master can bring it out in everybody.
There you go.
But anyway, after that, though, he a year and a half later, Gold's got brain cancer, and they gave him 3 months to live. And that's when I started the Laughter Heals Foundation. I work in I worked in this cancer facility, and I developed all these programs that don't even call for comedy. It calls for this thing I call guided laughitation and chuckle chatter, where you intentionally laugh. It's contagious. Don't need jokes, and laugh yourself for the health of it. Laugh for the health of it. And he showed up for all of it, all the prescriptions that I offered, and he lived 15 years past that 3-month prognosis.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Because he made laughter important. So I recommend anybody's not feeling well, whatever you're going through, grief. I've seen it all through the years. Suicides that didn't happen, because having laughter gives you hope. And I hope that people do pack it out when I'm performing.
Let's hope so, man. Because
is there anybody listening to this, by the way?
Yeah, sure. There's well, they started, and now I can see that they're turning out. No, this isn't live. This isn't live.
Just between you and me?
No, well, even if it was, that'd be nice too, though. I would enjoy it. But listen,
I'm making you happy, Joel.
Yeah, please do. We have a great time. I like talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Now, are you still driving people to radio, or does radio not even exist anymore?
I don't know that we line up, but we never lined up the radio anyway for you. Maybe we did in the early days, but if you line up radio, I'll take you.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to.
Calls. You don't have a guy, or you don't have a girl.
No. Usually the venues do it, but I guess radio is so faded anyway. Now it's like.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Podcast. That's my press.
This is not Joel's, but this is the Comedy Castle podcast. This is Mark Ridley's podcast. I am merely a vessel for that the information to get out. But what it is that I think with radio, and you know this from being in business, a lot of radio didn't want comedians because they were controversial. They might swear on the air, and then it also became a thing. Well, these clubs need to buy ad space on the show, and it's only so effective when you can advertise on social media or somewhere where people are going to love comedy. That's where the dollars end up
off the air. I know this isn't called the air anymore, but off the air, contact me or have them contact me at the Comedy Castle. We'll try to coordinate some of my favorites. I still have relationships there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You come in and you do, because I go to those with you and I watch you do these, and you can just it's like throwing a switch in a sense. You just you go in, and it's a couple pleasantries, and then you're on. Boom. It's amazing.
Well, I have a little secret. I teach comedy, by the way, on Zoom and in person and stuff. And I have so many secrets. But one of them that I would share, if you're doing press, is really, really dive in. So they are not skilled. The radio DJs are not skilled. They're skilled in introducing music or whatever it is. They're not skilled interviewers. So you have to take it over, but include them in the interview. Make sure you include them, but just get your jokes in there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of comedians, just ask me whatever. No. You got to really treat every single thing you do professionally and really, really bring it. So people are driving along and they're going, I got to see this guy at Ridley's Comedy Castle this weekend. You know what I mean? They're saying, hey, George, let's get together. Let's get the gang together and go see this guy. And that's because they're laughing along with the DJs who are laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great way, and you just kind of go in. You just kind of go. You go in there and go.
Yeah.
Give magic hour. You do these.
Is Grunwald still there?
Grunwald was at. Oh, jeez.
Stacy and Grunwald.
Oh yeah. No, they're. I don't know. I know the producer. I know who that guy is.
Okay,
but it's a different thing now.
I've got a lot of radio people through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, he's an old buddy of mine, Jay Thomas, and so we'll have to see if I can do some of those like the old days. One time I did a bit. Actually, it was with Grunwald and that gang, and I think Jay was the host at the time. I did a bit about a true story about Patrick Stewart. Do you know who Patrick Stewart is?
The Star Trek actor.
Yeah, Picard, for the young people, Professor Xavier.
Yeah. X-Men.
He was the bald guy in the wheelchair, his X-Men, yeah. So the first day on the set, we worked together. I knew I could do an impression. I said, go do it. He'll love it. I never met him before. I walked over. Like, it's so number one. And he looks at me, you're a dick. Make him go away. Do your comedy skit elsewhere in El Segundo or wherever you do your performance. So he was not really into me, right? So then I tell this story to these guys on the air about all my working with him, and he's this regal Shakespearean actor, and I'm playing the Chuckle Hut in Wingaloogie, Michigan. And so we're very different, but finally I got them together, like with me after a month. I said, Patrick, come on, you weren't always like a Shakespearean guy. You were a kid like I was in Philly. You're 13, you're naked, you're in front of a full-length mirror. You tuck your jewels back by your rear end. You ever do that? You see what you look like as a woman? I said, Patrick, come on, have you ever given yourself a mangina? He goes, yes, Craig, I've done a mangina. Every man has. You're naked in bed, one leg goes over, it disappears. You now have a mangina. I said, well, I got him where I want him now. I said, well, have you ever tried Rocket Man? He goes, what's Rocket Man, Craig? I'm intrigued. I said, well, if you circumcise, you tuck it back into the launch pad. You go 5, 4, 3, 2. You got Rocket Man. And he goes, let's wrap it up here and go home and do Rocket Man. Engage. So he loosens up, and I tell them the story. These jackasses, months later, he's doing a promo for King Lear. He's playing King Lear on TNT. And he's banging out the phones, calling these radio shows, and they all ask him the same question. He's got the rehearsed answers. Yeah. But these guys, didn't they go, he's in the interview that he's doing this promotional tour on the phone, one after the next. They say to him, do you remember Craig Shoemaker? There's a pause. He goes, yes, I remember Craig. So anyway, I've always wanted to play King Lear. King Lear's a dream performance for me. Well, do you remember working with him? Remember something about a mangina? This guy's trying to talk about Shakespeare, and they're talking about mangina. So, oh my God. And they keep luring him in. Then they played it for him. They played the whole bit. And you heard that Craig is quite a kidder. King Lear, dream performance. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. Oh, now you can play it for him. And
that's fantastic. Really, did you do that on stage, Patrick Stewart?
No, I'll do it this weekend.
It's good. You do what you want to do. You know.
I have a longer story too.
You know what your audience is.
Okay, engage.
Well, people have such a great time at your shows, and you talk about the healing power of laughter. That's what we've got for you this weekend.
That's right.
It's going to be fun.
Yep.
I think there's 5 shows. Are there 5 shows this week? I think so.
5 shows.
5 shows.
That's in sync with the 5 people that are downloading this podcast right now. It's perfect sync. So if those 5 people make it like Amway, they tell 6 people like Amway from Ada, Michigan. They tell 6 people, and they tell 6 people we'll have a packed house.
Well, hopefully we will. You did the coolest thing last time. I'm going to thank you again. Do you remember the last time you were on this show? What happened?
You have to remind me. I mean,
you
and Joe Rogan, I get them mixed up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I told you about my student, Chris Barrett, who was a big fan of yours, and you had Chris open for you.
That is correct.
It's the coolest thing that's ever been done in comedy.
Oh, I have been in touch with him, too. Yeah. I love to coach, and I've been coaching him a little bit.
He's doing good.
I heard he's doing great.
He's doing good, and that was the thing that really keeps us, because he's not a guy with a ton of confidence. And so, but when he goes on stage, people love him. And I told him that.
He needs to start paying me, though. He's got to pay me for this shit.
Well, we'll see how that works. But I think
my coaching, I do the personal one-on-one. I had a guy last week, Ethan Falk. I did a Craig Shoemaker and Friends show in the Pasadena Ice House. And this dude made me so happy watching his transformation take place, utilizing all the skills and the tools that I gave him. It was better than me doing well. Wow. Me doing well, it's almost old hat. I get it. No, watching him, and then he got applause breaks and seeing what it did to him. He's, what the hell is this?
Exactly.
It was awesome to see.
I see that. I teach classes at the club, and I see that same thing, and I love it. I don't feel ever like that should be me up there, or any of that stuff. I'm so happy for them to do well.
Yep.
Feels nice.
All right, my man. Well,
great job.
I hope to see you this weekend.
All right. Well, why don't we? Here's what we'll do. We'll sign off and we'll stay on the line and we'll talk about some of these radio things. How's that sound?
Make it so. Number one.
We'll say goodbye to the audience right now.
Hey,
Come
goodbye,
on out,
audience.
5
See you at
shows.
Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. I'm there. Joel will fill in when I'm there.
Perfect. All right, Craig. We'll see you.
See you,
All
bro.
right, man. Well, there it is. The Love Master. We didn't really do a lot of Love Master. That's kind of one of the big closing things he's known for that. He talked about making babies, I guess. You come see the Love Master making babies. I was going to do this on the show. I thought this would be because I got a button on my little box.
I can be the Love Master too, Craig. It's Joel. I'm the new Love Master. I do my voice electronically.
I think that would have been a little disrespectful. Or I could have had him do the Love Master, and this would have been my Love Master.
I'm also the Love Master, Craig. I'll tell you, I can make love for 10 seconds.
I got no good material. He does. He's so funny, man. I love hanging out with Craig. We talk about Springsteen when we drive around. He's a Philly guy. He loves Springsteen. I love Springsteen. Didn't really talk about Springsteen, but hopefully we get to hang out this week and we'll be talking about this. And he's helped out Chris Barrett. He's my guy. That was the last time he was on the show. It was a great, one of my favorite interviews ever when he invited Chris to open for him. That was super fun. Anyway, one quick note on the Comedy Rumble from last weekend. A quick shout out to David Lesneski, again, former student of mine, really funny comic. And David had a little bit of a health issue. I don't even want to get too much into that, but a shout out to David, who ended up leaving on a stretcher after the Comedy Rumble. David, we're all pulling for you. I was chatting with David this morning, so he's in good spirits. Hopefully he'll be in better health soon. So shout out to David. He was one of my students. I love David. And he was always a nice guy at the club, too. He worked at the club with us for a while on the staff. So shout out to David. I know the whole comedy scene are big fans of that guy. So David, hopefully, maybe you'll come on this show, tell us what happened to you. 'Cause it's kind of shocking. But anyway, David Lesneski, shout out to you. And shout out to all you guys for listening. Again, advanced comedy class starts this Saturday. Call the club at 248-542-9900. If you want to sign up for that one, of course, ComedyCastle.com has all your tickets for Detroit to L.A., Craig Shoemaker, Maurice Bernard, Steve Hofstetter, all the shows this week. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you had a great 4th, and come join us. Summer's over for a lot of you. Summer's over. You've been up north. Now you stay around town. You get out of the heat. You come to the Comedy Castle. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week, guys. Bye-bye.